Hello and welcome to the Sports Corner YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing all right. Finally, that music has stopped. Hang on, for some reason I still had it on. Welcome to the episode 3 of the Taylor series. I'm joined by my fellow Kieren today. How are you doing, Kieren?
I'm all right, Kieren. How are you, Kieren?
You know what, Kieren? I think I'm all right. Let's just get straight into it. Obviously, your team unfortunately got relegated this year. They're in League One. Sorry to bring it up, but I thought, why not do EFL League One predictions? Because I know you're so well up on your EFL League One knowledge, Kieren.
I hope you are ready for some top level intellect about.
Honestly, I'm ready.
Good, because after that countdown, I am so hyped to get into this video.
Honestly, I've just noticed that you can put a countdown on the videos, and it's now my favourite thing ever. So that's going in every video I'm involved in. Anyway, we should we'll start with the section that we normally do before the start of the tier list every single week, which I ask my guests 2 questions and I give them a stat of the day. Are you ready for the stat of the day, Kieren?
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the stat of the day.
The stat of the day is that Jared Bowen has scored more goals for Hull this season, 16, than Josh McGuinness, Tom Eaves, and Malik Wilkes combined, who've got 15.
I could have told you that.
You could have told me that.
I could have told you that one, because in terms of contributions, him and Grzycki got more than got like, I think, over 50% of our goals, and they left in January.
That might say a lot. But the first question I've got for you, it might be one that you've probably expected. It's just not a spoiler to the places, but will Hull City come back up this year?
The pessimist in me says no. The pessimist in me says we are very much at a Sunderland phase with bad owners and, kind of a unforeseen drop to League One. I know towards the end of the season I was telling you we're going down, but let's flash back to January. I would never have said we're going down, ever. We were flying high, so I'm gonna be wary, and I'll say yes. But that's just me being optimistic.
I think there's definitely signs there. Of course, Tommy did well in League One when he was at Gillingham. There's a lot of players in there that maybe the Wasp is back, by the way. That may be useful for League One quality. Disclaimer, by the way, the Wasp, I was here like 15-20 minutes before we started. I thought I got rid of it. No, it's back, and now it's disappeared again. I'm sure I'll shit myself later on in the stream. But yeah, there's a lot of players in your team, I think, that are first team quality. I see it. It's on the fucking back of the fan.
This is gone, isn't it?
Just answer this second question for me, and I'm going to fuck this Wasp up. If you could sign one player for Hull, who would it be and why? Within realistic reason, by the way.
Oh, within realistic reason. For me, we need a striker. We need a striker. And I'm not sure if we look towards the Premier League and try and get a striker in on loan, or we look towards, the division we're in and try and get a striker from there. Within realistic reason, I'd absolutely love to get Owen Doyle from Swindon. Within realistic reason, of course, because we know he can score goals in these divisions. I think I'd like to believe that's a little bit too low for us, but at this point, it's like, who can we sign at our level anymore? We're not the team we used to be. So if we can get either the likes of an Owen Doyle or either like a championship cast-off that hasn't quite had the opportunities he deserves in the championship as a striker, then I'd get him. So I'm just going to have to think on that one. I wasn't expecting that question. Good question. I wasn't expecting that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I didn't actually hear who you said, I'm not going to lie, because I was fucking the Wasp up. It is fucked. I can see its stinger there. It's fucked. I heard Owen Doyle. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm thinking like someone who is proven at League 2 level and needs a chance in League 1, or a guy who's been a cast-off in the Championship and hasn't really had the opportunities he deserves.
I think there's definitely a few players that obviously you've signed 2 players already, 2 right backs which you needed. linked with Kyle Dempsey from Fleetwood, decent enough player.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't look like you're going for the Championship. It looks like you're going for proven League One players, not necessarily in terms of Louis Coyle and Josh Emmanuel, but in terms of Kyle Dempsey. If you can get that over the line, he's already League One proven. He's had a few years in League One with Fleetwood.
That's the thing. That's what it seems to be. I mean, to be fair, we were signing League One quality last year, and I don't mean that to be like really, and like, you know, it may sound like I'm being a bit salty because we went down, but if you look, Tom Eves proven in League One, Josh McGuinness was never good enough for the Championship. Malik Wilkes, brilliant for Barnsley in League One, never really played when they got up to the Championship. George Honeyman got relegated with Sunderland, then captained them in League One. So we've got a few players that are already there, like the core. As long as I've got players that play for the badge, I'm not fussed.
That is fair enough. Now, before we get into the tier list, there is a quick disclaimer. My cat wank, there we go. Portsmouth were not included on this tier list for whatever reason, and we're not sure why. So I'm going to just flip over to the share screen now. Kieren, if you can just confirm that the tier list is up on the screen.
It is up on the screen for me.
And I've F11'd it. Is everything calm and
everything looks fantastic. I can't count how many teams there are, but there should be 23.
Right. There's 23 here. So we'll start off, Kieran. Are you ready?
Dare I say it? No.
Right, we'll start off with Portsmouth anyway,
right,
because they're not on here, so we're going to have to put them in the thing. So where do you think this season Portsmouth finished? Portsmouth last season finished 5th. Obviously, they lost in the playoff final to Oxford. But did they lose to Oxford?
Yes, they lost in the semi-final to Oxford, not in the final.
Yes, they lost to Oxford in the semi-final. Sorry, I remember watching that game as well. They lost to Oxford in the semi-final. I'd probably say it was. I didn't expect it to be fair. I thought Portsmouth would be the ones to win the playoffs. So they got 60 points last year, 17 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we putting them? Where
I think you put them. I put them right back in playoff contender. In my opinion, I think they will make up the books. They're not a sleeping giant, but from my youth, I remember Portsmouth was a steady Premier League side with that FA Cup win they had. And I don't know where it all went wrong. It probably was owners. It always tends to be that way. But they do still have some good players. Like, I love Ronan Curtis. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I like Marcus Harness. I think he's absolutely brilliant. So,
right, that's going to have to do, by the way. That's going to have to do, because I can't actually put playoff contenders and put Portsmouth in. So I've put PO is for playoffs, contenders, obviously, and then P is for Portsmouth.
Yeah. Why don't we just call it Portsmouth contenders, and then we'll just go from there.
Not? So Portsmouth are officially in the Portsmouth contenders. They are in playoff contenders.
I think
so. Actually, I've just noticed it's hard to predict a playoff winner so early.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking. Because if you look, there'll be 2 in promotion, 1 in playoff winner, and 3 in playoff contender. So I've already got rid of one of my playoff contender spots with Portsmouth, which makes this tier list, because usually it'd be like this team's bad, this team's good, but now I've literally got to do league position and league finishes, which is difficult.
Right, Kieran. So we'll move on to the first team. Tier list as itself. So Accrington Stanley, they finished 17th last season. 10 wins, 10 draws, 15 losses. They got 40 points. So they were in that battle for relegation. They're only 8 points above it. Where Tranmere did have a game in hand. There was they could have probably gone down. Maybe there was another 11 games left, obviously, to play in League One. Anything could have happened. What do you think of Accrington?
I think, if I'm not wrong, Accrington's came up 2 years ago now. So I think they've had kind of, a slump from immediately coming up. And I don't think I can really see that changing. I was talking to you last night, wasn't I? And I remember Billy Key was really their star man when they came up. But I don't think that's going to be enough for them this year. Do I think they'll go down, however? Because we established there's only 3 teams going. Is there 4 teams going down?
I don't know. There must be 4 if Portsmouth are in this as well.
Yeah, I think it might be 4 going down, but I don't think Accrington Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? Put him in relegation.
Accrington are the first ones to be relegated then. Harsh
Yeah,
by KL already.
yeah. We've got to be cutthroat in this business,
Sorry
and
to all you Stanley fans out there.
I apologise. But if there is 4 going down, I could see Accrington getting dragged into it.
Right. So we'll move on next to Blackpool. Obviously, the Premier League former Premier League team, been in the Championship. They've been around. That's to say. I remember the days of Alex Baptiste and Elliot Grandin and Gary Taylor Fletcher in the Premier League beating Liverpool.
And Adam, don't forget Charlie Adam.
Sorry, how could I forget Charlie Adam? So Blackpool last season finished 13th. A very mediocre season for them. 11 wins, 12 draws, 12 losses, 45 points. Obviously, there was 11 games left. They were 14 points off the playoffs. Probably not going to get into there. They were, I think, 11 points, 10 points above the relegation zone. Very much mid-table mediocrity.
Yeah, I mean, look at that record: 11 wins, 12 draws. Was it 12 losses as well? Look at
Yeah.
how you could not get more consistent, if you liked, and not in a good way. So the thing was with Blackpool is it was all. I think their problems were really defensively because they had the league's second top goal scorer and the league's top assister in Liam Feeney and Armand Ginandwile. It's a good effort.
I think it's Nandwiller.
Nandwile. So I think things were starting to look up for Blackpool because again they've had ownership problems recently, and there seemed to be a good vibe about the club. But as you said last year, they were. I don't want to say a million miles off the playoffs, but the cut between the playoffs and the mid-table was a lot bigger. So I want to put them comfortably in that 7th to 12th range, but I'd put them up towards the top of 7th to 12th. I think they might end up 7th, 8th, or 9th. You know.
But if they can keep hold of, well, we'll sort the positions out at the end. If they can keep hold of those two players, like you said, there's no doubt in my mind that they could maybe become playoff contenders. Like you said, defensively they do need to shake up. They only had a positive goal difference last season.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so we'll move on to another table team that was just as fucking shit as Blackpool, to be fair. Then Bristol Rovers, 35 games, obviously, 12 wins, 9 draws, 14 losses. They had a minus 11 goal difference, though.
They did, and I think they were a much worse team than Blackpool. Whereas for Blackpool, I can kind of see the positives with their attacking football. Whereas with Bristol Rovers, I just don't see what I saw from Blackpool last season. I think for them, staying in the division is probably another year of their focus. However, there is always one team that sneaks into the playoffs. Because in League One at the moment, I don't know about you, Kieran, but I see like big teams like Sunderland, Hull, Wigan, and then like this year, Wickham snuck into it. I can feel one of these League One teams might sneak in at the back end. At the back end.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think it'll be Bristol Rovers, just saying.
No, I don't. I'm going to put them in the second to bottom tier, but that's not the point.
Right. Well, we've got the team that finished 12th above Blackpool and Bristol Rovers next. So our last three things have been 13th Blackpool, 14th Bristol Rovers, and 12th in Burton Albion. Obviously, they had 12 wins, 12 draws, 11 losses, 0 goal difference. They were 11 points off the playoffs with obviously 11 games to go. They probably weren't going to get relegated. Where are you thinking of putting them?
I like Burton. I've always had a soft spot for Burton, but I've never truly believed, even when they were in the Championship, that they were a Championship side. I feel a bit bad saying that, but when they came up, I thought they'd be the whipping boys of the league. They weren't for a year. They stayed up, and then eventually they finally went back down. But with the quality of teams in League One, and yes, they have a bit of quality. Scott Fraser, second most assists last year, had a decent year. But for me, I don't see them making that final playoff push. But I think they'd be happy with probably 7 to 12. I'd say with Burton Albion.
I think I'm going to agree with you there. Now, controversially relegated Charlton. They finished 22nd in the Championship. 12 wins, 12 draws, 22 defeats, minus 15 goal difference. Sorry. This should be an interesting one. Where do you think we should put these?
This is the thing. There's a more controversial relegation coming up, I guess, which is the problem with what's happened this year. Like, apart from us, maybe 2 of these 3 teams don't deserve to be down here.
I agree with you though.
Because as much as I'd like to defend us, we finished rock bottom when teams had points deductions. So, what does that say? Charlton, for me, they're losing Lyle Taylor. I know they lost him for the back end of last season, but that was so many goals for them in League One, and that's really what got them promoted. He really was the catalyst for their promotion through the playoffs. In terms of strength of squad, do I believe their strength of squad is better than some of the other teams in this division? No. Lee Bowyer, however, in terms of management and getting the best out of the players he's got, I think he's done a really good job. So I'd put Charlton in playoff contender with Portsmouth. It's going to be so hard because I only need one more team in there, don't I? Because Portsmouth are already in there. So yeah, that's fine.
I think I'll agree with you there. Welcome, Jocelyn, by the way, to the chat. He says Wigan sad.
It is definitely sad.
Welcome to the chat, Jocelyn, mate. I hope you're having a nice day. We'll move on though to one of the promoted teams in Crewe, who they came second in League Two. 37 games, 20 wins, 9 draws, 8 defeats, 24 goal difference. Impressive season for Crewe. Obviously, they're not one of the teams you'd expect to go up. I don't think from League Two. They're normally around about mid-table. But the last 2 years, I'd say that they've come out of their shell a little bit, and they've got some really good players, the likes of Perry NG and Tom Lowry especially.
Yeah, they had a really good year for them, and obviously they didn't have to worry about playoffs or anything. They made it through, and I mean they could have gone on to win the league. I mean, obviously they did the points per game thing, but they were equal with Swindon Town and had a better goal difference.
Yeah.
Yet still didn't win the league. So, but League One is different quality to League Two, and obviously we're doing this video before they do any sort of recruitment. There's been a bit from a few teams, but we're kind of taking this at eyes value, if you know what I mean.
It's an early EFL League One prediction tier list.
Yeah, it is. And always with teams that get promoted, it's always, well, they're going to go straight back down. It rarely becomes that. It's rare that every team that goes up comes straight back down.
You've got to have something to go up. That's what I feel like. You've got to have something to go up. Obviously, they score a lot of goals. They win a lot of games. I can't see them going straight back down, but I think they won't do what Luton did, for example, which would just go up and then go up again. No,
and this is the thing, that they have that star man in Charlie Kirk, who got so many assists last year. I mean, I think I'm going to send him straight back down.
You think you're going to send him straight back down? So Crewe are going to be joining Accrington and Stanley?
Yeah, I think so. So
you've relegated 2 teams already.
I have. Yeah, they have. I feel bad as well. I'm sorry.
Well, let's get going with the team that's quite local to us. It's not that far away. Doncaster.
No, hopefully we can visit there next year on an away trip. Hopefully.
Yep, I'd love to. They finished 9th in League One last year. They were definitely outsiders for the playoffs. Maybe even could have got there. They had 2 games in hand on Sunderland, who were in 8th, and a game in hand on Peterborough, who were in 7th, of course. And Fleetwood are in 6th. They got 15 wins, 9 draws, 10 losses, 18 goal difference. Where do you think they should go?
I'm torn because there's only so many spots in playoff contender, and I do believe these are a dark horse to be again back in the playoff contender shout. They were in the playoffs the year before last under Grant McCann before they were knocked out. I can't remember who it was by. I think it was Charlton, actually, who knocked them out. So I want to put them in playoff contender, but I think they might just be on the outside with Burton and Blackpool in terms of, in the hunt for the playoffs, but they might not reach it towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I think I thoroughly agree with you there. Probably don't have enough to reach the playoffs.
Is it's such a weird league at the moment with such strong teams, and there's no guarantee that the strong teams in this league will perform. I mean, I hate bringing up Sunderland all the time, but look at Sunderland.
Yeah. Well, Bernardo's in the building. He said, "Morning, lads. Morning,
Oh,
Bernardo. Haven't seen you in a while. We
that's
were
what
wondering where you'd gone."
I was going to message the guys the other day saying, has anyone seen Bernardo?
Hope you're all right, mate. Yeah, we've missed you.
We have indeed.
So, Kieren, this next team was actually in the playoffs this season. 6th place they finished. Fleetwood Town.
They were.
35 games, 16 wins, 12 draws, 7 losses. They got beat by Wickham, if I am correct.
You are correct. You are correct.
So, Fleetwood obviously finished 6th this season. We're in the playoffs. I think they did it. They put a good name out there for themselves. What do you think?
If I'm not wrong, for Joey Barton's first year in management, or his first team in management, he did a bloody unbelievable job with Fleetwood Town to knock off some of it for the bigger boys in League One and become extremely established as a threat in the division. Because when you look at the table flat up, I think for many years Fleetwood were not viewed as that. So I've got to give credit to him, and I've also got to keep in the back of my mind that they were in the playoffs this year. So does that mean they can go back to back? But I don't think they can. I think I'm going to put them in 7 to 12.
Of course, we'll sort out the positions after we put everybody in, so we can get your honest opinion on that. I'm going to agree with you, though.
I think the league's just too strong, and maybe that's me being a bit top-heavy in terms of teams that are more proven being higher, and that is probably my naivety, because obviously this is my first year in League One, so I'm not as clued up, but I also don't want to discredit the teams coming down because they do have bigger budgets, they are stronger, so we'll see.
Oh, Ralph is in the building. He said Hull are going up.
Oh, thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. We'll see. I'll see where I'll put Hull a bit later.
Well, next we've got another team that missed out on the playoffs by a small margin there. Gillingham finished 10th on the points by games rule. Ipswich and 11th did have more points than them. So they finished on 51 points, 12 wins, 15 draws, 8 losses. They finished 10th. It was 9 points away from the playoffs, of course. Well put, Gillingham.
Another tough. There's a lot of tough teams there to really grasp, because I feel it's going to be a drop off for Gillingham. I've got a feeling I'm going to put them in 13th to 20th because that tier's looking a little bit lonely.
Of course, you've only got one more team that can go in 7 to 12 as well.
Yeah, exactly. Which is making me very worried, actually, at this point, because this is getting very tight and I don't know what to do. Oh, dear. What have you made me do here, Kieren? I'm sweating. Right. So I've got... Oh.
Of course, if you want to change it any time, you can.
I think I can put 2 more in 7 to 12.
Yes, you can. Sorry, I'm thick as fuck.
It's all right. But I'm just making sure because it's getting very, very under the collar because I don't want to. I want to make sure it looks how I want it to look, and I think Gillingham for a good season. I think 10th. It's not 10th is a lie, but they were 9 points away from the playoffs, so I don't think they were ever going to make that late push. And I see more potential in Ipswich, Burton, Blackpool, the teams that finished below them, than I do in them themselves, which feel a bit harsh, but that's life.
Now, would you like to save Hull to the last, or do you want to just do them now?
I can do Hull whenever you want me to do Hull.
Right, we'll save Hull till last. I think we'll probably know where they're going anyway at the end. So we'll move on to Ipswich. Obviously, they finished in 11th place. Missed out on 10th spot because of the points per game rule. 14 wins, 10 draws, 12 losses, finished on 52 points. They had a very, very disappointing season, I think, because they started so well.
Yeah, they started so well, gave Paul Lambert a massive contract, and then it all went downhill from there. So they've had the rest. They're going to come back. I do think they'll be putting the pressure on towards the end of the season. I'm currently calculating in my head whether I want to put them in playoff contender or 7th to 12th.
Of course, you've got 2 teams in playoff contender already. You can have another 2 in there.
I can have 2 there, 1 in playoff winner and 2 in
promotion.
I'm gonna put them in 7 to 12 for now.
Right.
Just because, just at the moment I'm just gonna give myself, because we can adapt this towards the end, can't we?
Yeah, of course we can. If you want to change it any time, you let me know.
Right, no worries. Then I'll be able.
Bernardo has said though, Hull ought to be in playoff winner or contender.
Well, Bernardo, there's an extra spot in relegation to League Two waiting for Hull City. Don't worry about it.
So we'll move on. We're getting through this quite quickly, actually. I didn't think we'd get through this quick. Lincoln City, they finished 16th, 12 wins, 6 draws, 17 defeats, 42 points, 7 points off Wimbledon, who were in 20th. What do you think?
Relied on Tyler Walker heavily for his goals with 14 league goals. So I do worry if he leaves. Is he on loan, actually? Let me just double check quickly. I think Tyler Walker, if I'm not mistaken, is a Tottenham player, is he? No, he's a Nottingham Forest. There you go. So he was on loan at Lincoln. So you take them goals out of the team, and I worry. Maybe I worry even more than I do for the likes of Accrington Stanley. However, for now, I'm going to put Lincoln in 11th to 20th. Not 13th to 20th, my apologies.
I think another thing for Lincoln is their -2 goal difference, and they lost 17 games, so they must have been losing their games quite narrowly.
Yeah, so if they're on the other side of that, they may be pushing up towards the top end, but as we say, take out the goals of Tyler Walker. He got 14 on the season. I think they'll struggle a little bit.
I think we're coming to the first team now that I think they loved seeing the end of the League One season because they were in awful form. Been in awful form all season, MK Dons. 35 games, 10 wins, 7 draws, 18 losses. Missed out on going down by 5 points. And Tranmere did have a game in hand on them as well. Well put into MK Dons. Obviously, they've been in League Two. They've been in League One for a while. They got relegated to League Two. They came back up. They've kind of bounced around League One a little bit, and now last year was a disappointing year for them. Can they build, or do you think they'll go down?
I don't think they'll go down, but that's a very disappointing year for MK Dons. I think I'll put them in 13th to 20th. I think I'll give them enough credit to stay in the division.
Obviously, they've got players like Kieren D, for example, and a few players that I can't think of at the top of my head. They've got good proven goal scorers in League One. Obviously, they just don't have probably the defence. I'd probably say to. They've still got Dean Lewington in defence, who is ancient.
Aging Dean Lewington. I agree. I just always believe that they'll have enough in this division to stay up. I don't know if when I view MK Dons, I do see League One. I don't see League Two. And I think of that some of the magical cup performances they've put in the past.
Fuck off.
So maybe that's sentimental, but
I know you're trying to throw shade.
No, never. But I do believe they'll have enough to stay in the division.
Down here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Maybe that's where I was going to put them anyway. You never know.
Right, so next up we've got another team that got promoted from League Two. They won the playoffs. TSC Bernardo saying up the Northampton. They did indeed go up, Bernardo. So they finished 17 wins, 7 draws, 13 losses. That is Kieran. 37 games played. I mean, they just got into the playoffs, really, didn't they? Obviously they played very well in the playoff final against Exeter, incredibly well.
I'm pretty sure they got relegated last year, the year before last, sorry, and then went straight back up. I believe that's what happened. And I actually do like some of the players. I think we were talking last night about the centre half. Is it Charlie Good? I think it is. And I look at some of the midfielders. I know I think they've still got Sean McWilliams, who I like a lot. They've got Scott Pollock. obviously remember the name. So no, I do. In all seriousness, I do fancy Northampton's chances at staying in the division because I believe they are better than some of the teams that are already down in League One. So I do believe Northampton Town will stay in League One.
13th to 20th then.
Yeah. I don't want to see him pushing any higher than that. I don't think that'd be fair.
That's no problem at all. So next up, we've got a team that lost in the semi-finals of the playoffs in Oxford. Just one second, my phone has closed on me. Oxford finished 4th in the league. Should have finished 3rd, but for some reason Wickham came 3rd. 17 wins, 9 draws, 9 defeats, 24 plus goal difference. They've got some really good players, including Marcus Brown and Callum Brannigan. Conor Brannigan, I think his name is actually from Liverpool on loan. They had a very good year. Cameron, I knew it began with a C, all right. They had a very good year, and they were unlucky in the playoff final.
I think they surprised a lot of people as well. They surprised me because the strength of League One, and as you said, that they had some really important players last year. James Henry, or Henry, depending on what you want to talk about. But I don't think they'll be back there this year. I think the league's too strong, and I worry that it'll be a little bit of a slump this year. And if they were going to make it any year, it would have been the last one. But I'm willing. The problem is, I want to put them in 7 to 12, but there's another team I want to put there. So I think I'm going to drop Doncaster down.
Right, we're dropping Donny down and we're putting Oxford into 7 to 12.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do.
So just for a bit of context, we've got 2 teams that can go in promotion, 1 in playoff winner. We've got another 2 teams that can go in playoff contender. Another 1 team can go in 7 to 12. Another 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. 2 teams can go in 13 to 20th, and 2 teams can go in relegation to League 2.
Yeah. Can I make... Sorry, I need to make another change. Can we swap Doncaster and Burton, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. I'm going to put Donny back up. So tipsy-turvy, Donny.
Ben Simpson has said Hull relegated.
Right, brilliant. Fantastic. Love this, honestly. The hate I'm getting, love to see it.
You're welcome, Kieren, he said.
Oh, well, Scottish League's crap. Right, move on.
So, Peterborough. So, they finished 7th, robbed of a playoff spot. 17 wins, 8 draws, 10 losses, a plus 28 goal difference. They've got an insane team. Ivan Toney absolutely smashing it every year, as he normally does. Where are they going?
They're going in playoff contender. However, if Ivan Toney... No, they're not. 7 to 12, sorry. I've misspoke. Wait, have I misspoke? How many teams can go in playoff contender?
Another 3 more in there. 2 more, sorry, in there.
No, 1 more because of Pompey.
It's 4, isn't there? 'Cause you got 3rd. 4, no, obviously.
Yeah, but one of them's got to win.
You've got 1 more team in playoff contender, of course.
I'm going to go with Peterborough. Whack Peterborough in playoff contender.
Right.
Because, yeah, I'm happy with that. Because it all depends for me, though, on Ivan Toney. The man finished top goal scorer by a deficit of 9 goals. Like, he is so far and away the best striker in that division that no one comes close to Ivan Toney. So I think if you lose him, you've got to drop a few places down the league. I don't know what you're thinking, but that's seriously.
I agree with you. You see, his goals have been really important this year. Of course, they've got a few other players that score, including the likes of Aissa and others. Yeah. They've got a very good team. And if they can keep Ivan Toney, I do think they will go up this year. I think that they might go promotion. But this is your prediction tier list. I'm just here to play devil's advocate.
They're in playoff contender, so I guess that's as close as you can be.
Right, we'll move on to the boys in green. Pieface is absolutely loving it right now. 3rd place Plymouth. Got up via the coronavirus stoppage league. 37 games, 20 wins, 8 draws, 9 losses, 22 plus goal difference. Could have won the league.
I think they'll do best out of the promoted sides. But if I'm not mistaken, I've only got 1 spot left in 7 to 12.
You do.
Do you know what? Whack Plymouth at the back end Yeah, the back end, because it's going to be close. The back end of 7th to 12th, because I truly believe they're going to be the best overall team. We talk about the likes of Northampton, and we talked about obviously Charlie Good. We'll talk about Swindon. I won't talk about them just yet. But Crewe Alexandra, the likes of Charlie Kirk being there, talisman. I think best overall team is Plymouth Argyle coming up.
It's a very respectable opinion, of course. Pieface will be loving these new away days if he gets to travel next year, if the fans are allowed back in the stadium. But we'll move on to Rochdale, who another team that will be thankful that the league did get stopped because they've stayed up by 4 points. They finished 18th on the point thingy, what's it called? The points by games. Then they finished with MK Dons. 10 wins, 6 draws, and 18 defeats. Very similar to MK Dons. MK Dons just played one more game, but they drew it. Rochdale, are they similar to MK Dons? Are they going down?
They're very local to me, and I've lost one local team in Bury. So, I don't want to do this. Right, Rochdale.
We've got 2 teams in 13th to 20th you can put in.
Yeah, I know. Rochdale had a really tough year last year, and again, they had 15 goals coming from Ian Henderson. So it might be the case of, do you know when we talk about like where would Arsenal be without Aubameyang, where would Rochdale be without Ian Henderson in terms of goals? So for me, I think time's gonna catch up with them, and they're going to be relegated to League Two, and that hurts because they're local to me.
Of course, it's Bernardo has said Sunderland and Swindon must be the promoted teams. Well, we'll have a talk about Swindon in a brief second. I don't think Kieren agrees with you.
No, maybe not.
But we'll move on to Shrewsbury. Obviously, they had that amazing cup run and that game against Liverpool, which they got to replay in this season. Yeah. They did finish 15th in the league, though, on the points by games rule. 10 wins, 11 draws, 13 defeats, and a -7 goal difference. What were we thinking for Shrewsbury this year?
I mean, they showed glimpses in the cup. I didn't see them week in, week out, but it was a solid season, average season, I'd definitely say, because they were never in fear, really, of getting relegated because only 3 teams went down. So I'd put them in 13th to 20th for another year. I think that's fair enough.
Of course, they only recently came up from League Two as well. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
they're probably still trying to get their feet in League One. They need a few more quality players if they want to push up the league.
Yeah, they do. I think it's more a case of they want to become an established League One side. They want to, walk before they can run.
Now, this should be interesting, Kieran. Because we've got 5 teams here.
Yeah.
And we need 2 in promotion, 1 in playoff winner, 1 in relegation, and 1 in 13th to 20th. So this should be very, very tasty.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've given away the results.
Sunderland finished 8th this season.
Yeah.
16 wins, 11 draws, 9 losses. Missed out on the playoffs by 1 point. Where are they going this year?
Well, obviously, there's one less team to go in relegation to League Two, and I don't believe, with the squad they have, that they can be in League One any longer. So I'm going to whack them in promotion.
Do you think they're going to win the league?
Yes. Or second.
They're going to win the league?
Second. I'm going to put them in second.
So you think the Sunderland era of League One is finally going to die and they're going to be back to its championship? Bernardo has said straight to Netflix.
Yes. Well, we watched them cry on Netflix for a while, but now it's not going to be on Netflix, but we will. I think we'll see them cheer, because I believe that truly Sunderland have spent too long in League One. I think they wanted to go up straight away. Last minute heartbreak to Patrick Bauer. But if there's a year, the problem is with them at the moment, they had owners that they didn't like. They got new owners, and now them owners have outstayed their welcome and have angered the fan base. So they need, again, to revitalise and to go again. They've already made a couple signings this summer to try and get them back up. And they also got a player that they had back on loan again. So I think they've signed Bailey Wright permanently, I think is his name. So I can't see anything else but promotion straight back up. It's been a while.
Straight back up. So we'll talk about the wrongly crowned winners of League Two, Swindon. They finished first, 21 wins, 6 draws, 9 losses, 69 points, the same as Crewe, 1 less goal difference. They did have a game in hand though. Where are we putting Swindon, Kieren?
Well, I am very torn with Swindon because they do have the mighty Owen Doyle, who had an unbelievable year. And I'll be honest, I truly believe solely the reason they got promoted in terms of how important it was. I don't want Owen Doyle because he's 32 years old, so scrap that signing. And he now plays for Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go scrap Owen Doyle then. I don't want to sign him for Hull. I'm going to put Swindon straight back down to League Two.
So Swindon will be joining Crewe in going down to League Two.
Yeah. Because
right, go on.
He scored 25 goals in 28 games last year, and once you take that out of your team, no. You just can't stay in the league, in my opinion.
So I'm going to skip Wigan, and I'm going to do Wimbledon.
Right. Well, Wimbledon are going in 13th to 20th, aren't they?
Now, yeah. But last season, I just want to go through it. 8 wins, 11 draws, 16 losses. They were a team that was thankful for the coronavirus stoppage of the league because they were 3 points in front of Tranmere, and Tranmere had a game in hand on them. So it could have been very different for Wimbledon, but they are joining the likes of Bristol Rovers, Gillingham, Lincoln, MK Dons, Northampton, Burton Albion and Shrewsbury in 13th to 20th in Kieren D's EFL 1 league tier list.
Yeah, I think it would have been a shock if either of these teams ended up in 13th to 20th.
Yes, I agree. So these two teams are getting promoted by Kieran's rankings here. It's just which one's going to playoff and which one's going to promotion. Where are Wigan going?
Promotion.
So we'll just talk about Wigan before we say anything else.
Yeah.
15 wins, 14 draws, 7 losses. Obviously, they had a 12-point deduction, which is very sad for their club and their fans. They would have stayed up comfortably, if not, and it would have been Barnsley joining Hull and Charlton and going down this year.
Yeah, should never have been relegated. Terrible ownership. If they can keep the squad together, they have lost Paul Cook, the manager, which is worrying because he did quite a decent job with that team in the Championship. Not enough, sadly, in the end. But if they can keep the core of the squad for 1 year in League One, with the fight they showed last year, even with the points deduction, they showed a special quality that when you back up against the wall is what you want to see, and a little bit of fight. So I believe if they show that in League One, they might run out as champions.
Thoroughly agree with it. Now, Hull are being the playoff winners, so you can expect an exciting season for Hull. For them, 12 wins, 9 draws, 25 defeats. A very, very poor season for Hull. But you're saying next season that you're going to win the playoffs. Who are you going to beat in the final?
Peterborough,
right.
Yeah, well, depends on Ivan Toney, but if Ivan Toney's there, then Peterborough. Yeah, I tried to take as much bias out of there as possible, but obviously I see us go straight back up. It'd be stupid for me to say I don't want to see us go straight back up, because I do. So, in terms of, we had a really bad demise last year, and hopefully we can rebuild with players that aren't just coasting on Premier League or Championship wages, and then we can finally get back to where we belong, which is the Championship.
I thoroughly agree with you. I also think you'll go up this season. I think you've got the strength in the squad to do it. I think that a few of the players, they're not good enough, but we've seen the likes of Tommy do well in League One. Josh McGuinness, maybe it's just maybe the Championship was just a step too far for him in his old age. We know that JM9 bangs him in League Two for Chester on FM. But we'll just have a run through. I'm pretty sure you'll want to change a few of the positions around, and if not, just say.
I just want to change my answer to the question at the start about the signing, because screw Owen Doyle.
Did you see the signing of Nathan Delfonanzo, whatever the fuck his name is, as well?
Nathan Delfonso, yeah.
Yeah, Bolton signed him as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Herbie Kane. In a dream world, Herbie Kane.
Of course. So this is Kieren. This is the way that Kieren's league is panning out. Are Sunderland winning the league?
No, Wigan are.
So Wigan are winning the league. Wigan are winning the league. Sunderland second. Are Hull coming third and winning the playoffs, or are they coming sixth and winning the playoffs?
I think we'll finish fourth.
Fourth. Charlton or Peterborough? Who's coming higher?
Peterborough.
Are you just doing this so you can make me fucking change the icons around?
Well, we can't move Pompey, so technically Pompey is stuck.
Right, so far you've got Ipswich 7th, Blackpool 8th, Fleetwood 9th, Oxford 10th, Doncaster 11th, Plymouth 12th. Are you happy with that?
No.
Right.
Blackpool 7th, Oxford 8th, Ipswich 9th. No, that's fine where it was. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna flat that one out.
Right. 13th to 20th, 13th Bristol Rovers, 14th Gillingham, 15th Lincoln, 16th MK Don, 17th Northampton, 18th Burton, 19th Shrewsbury, 20th Wimbledon. What we're changing?
Burton to the top, then Gillingham, then Northampton. Yeah, we'll move Northampton ahead of Bristol, then Bristol. The rest can stay as they are, that's fine.
And the four at the bottom, obviously, where Swindon is marked 24th, so Rochdale will be in 23rd, Crewe 22nd, and Accrington 21st. I'm
gonna put Rochdale at the top because I'll total bias, and then swap Crewe and Aki around as well. We might as well give it a bit of spice.
So we'll just do one final run through for you. This is Kieren's completed EFL League One table prediction for 2021. He's got Wigan winning the league, with Sunderland coming second. Peterborough to finish third. Hull to finish fourth. Charlton to finish fifth. Charlton to finish fifth, by the way. Charlton or Pompey?
Charlton fifth, Pompey sixth.
Charlton to finish fifth, Pompey sixth. Hull to win the playoffs. Blackpool 7th, Oxford 8th, Ipswich 9th, Fleetwood 10th, Doncaster 11th, Plymouth 12th, Burton 13th, Gillingham 14th, Northampton 15th, Bristol Rovers 16th, Lincoln 17th, MK Dons 18th, Shrewsbury 19th, Wimbledon 20th, and you four that are getting relegated, Rochdale in 21st, Craigslonder in 22nd, Accrington 23rd, and Swindon in 24th.
I think I'm okay with that.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think I am. And I mean, if we can get Herbie Kane as our dream signing, I think that'll be the best League One season ever.
I think that was an enjoyable taste. Obviously, it didn't take as long as the other ones had, but I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed yourself as well.
I did indeed. It was I'm glad you have me on.
Yeah, you'll be back in how many weeks is it? 4 weeks time.
I hope it's not 4 because I'll be on holiday.
Well, you won't be back in 4 weeks. I might have to get you on earlier. But thank you very much for joining me.
No worries.
We will be live later, won't we, me and you?
Yeah, honestly, there's too much Kieren today.
I've been on earlier doing the transfer show. Now I'm here doing this, and then we'll be both live at 7:45 again. Just look at the bottom of the screen, the little ticker at the bottom. It's going for 50 minutes that we've been live. Join us later on today from 7:45 for live coverage of the UEL matches between Inter Milan and Bayer Leverkusen and Manchester United and Copenhagen. Me and Kieren will be live doing everything and moaning about our football's crap.
I don't think the last one will be there. Everything apart from moaning about football.
When it's 0-0 at half time, you'll be moaning.
Yeah, probably. You're right.
But again, thank you for everyone in the comments for subscribing. I'll just shout you all out. Jaslyn, thank you. Ralphie, Bernardo, Ben Simpson, Bernardo again, Rowan, thank you for being here. if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and like. We're trying to get 700 subscribers before the festival foot is over. Join us live later for our live stream again. We'll be live tomorrow as well, I'm pretty sure. Rowan and Josh will be live. Of course, Rowan will be live earlier in the day because it's the wrestling call tomorrow morning at 11 p.m. 11 a.m. I think it is.
Yeah, usually
11 a.m. And then we've got some more Collins. Cheers, boys. And Jasland is he shocked?
I don't know what that is. Scared.
Scared. So what I was saying. Rowan will be live tomorrow, 11 a.m. for the wrestling corner, and then Josh and Rowan will be live tomorrow night for the other 2 Europa League matches. And then we've got the Champions League returning for the old quarterfinals, Kieren.
Yes, we have.
Can't wait.
We've got 2 of us per show.
We have.
Watching along with all the games. The football never stops until
the festival of football on the Sports Corner does not stop. Before we go, quick prediction for tonight's games.
I'm going to go with Inter Bayer Leverkusen to finish 1-1 and go to penalties, and Man United 5-0.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Inter and 2-0 to Man United.
2-0.
Yeah. But yep, like I said, thank you for joining me, Kieren. Thank you for taking time out of your day to do this. Thank you to everyone in the comments. We will see you later on. Make sure you're there 7:45 tonight on this channel. We will be live, ready for the Europa League games. If you love Europa League football, subscribe as well, because I love it as well. Thursday nights are my thing. But from me and Kieren, goodbye. Have a nice day.